yesterday, what were we covering? We were covering the Levites and their responsibilities. So we got to see their different jobs, what they took care of in and around the tabernacle, right? Because they were appointed during David's time, so this is before the temple was built. So we got to see their positions, and we got to see the family of King Saul. So now we're going to be jumping into the tragic end of King Saul's family, and then we're going to be focusing on how David built up his army. So that'll be interesting. So let's get started.
Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. Then the Philistines followed hard after Saul and his sons, and the Philistines killed Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malchishua, Saul's sons. The battle became fierce against Saul. The archers hit him, and he was wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer,
"Draw your sword and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised men come and abuse me."
But his armor-bearer would not, for he was greatly afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell on him.
We had a guy, remember, by the name, I started with an A, I think, and he ran to David after Saul's death, and he said that he killed Saul. So we had two conflicting stories. Well, now we had the story of this one, Saul falling on his own sword and ending his life, and then this other story from this guy who said that he killed Saul. And we were thinking that, we were looking at some commentary, and we saw that people were thinking that the reason why this guy ran to David and told him that he killed Saul is because Saul was hunting David, and so he thought that he could find favor in David's eyes. So if he was the one that killed Saul, ended this hunt between Saul and David, that David would be pleased. But it wasn't the case. So David still looked up to Saul as a type of father figure. He was the father of his best friend Jonathan, father of his wife, and so yeah, this is backing up that original story we got, where Saul fell on his sword because he didn't want to lose, I guess, taint his honor by having himself be killed by one of these uncircumcised men, right? So let's keep going.
And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell on his sword and died. So Saul and his 3 sons died.
The reason why he killed himself also is because it's sort of suspect. Who killed this guy? Who killed Saul? Who stabbed Saul with his own sword? The only guy around is his armor-bearer. So he was also felt under pressure, and so he ended up killing himself.
And all his house died together. And when all the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that they had fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook their cities and fled. Then the Philistines came and dwelt in them. So it happened the next day, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. And they stripped him, and took his head and his armor, and sent word throughout the land of the Philistines to proclaim the news in the temple of their idols and among the people. Then they put his armor in the temple of their gods, and fastened his head in the temple of Dagon. And when all Jabesh-Gilead heard all that the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his
complete
sons,
disrespect.
and they brought them to Jabesh, and buried their bones under the tamarisk tree at Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. So Saul died for his unfaithfulness, which he had committed against the Lord.
Right, because he, instead of going to God, he went to a medium and asked to speak with Samuel, who had already passed.
Because he did not keep the word of the Lord, and also because he consulted a medium for guidance. But he did not inquire of the Lord. Therefore he killed him, and turned the kingdom over to David, the son of Jesse.
Also because he didn't wait for Samuel for that sacrifice, right? So he didn't follow God's law. But we were talking about this again yesterday, that God felt regret for anointing King Saul as king. Therefore, he didn't know what King Saul would do. So that's kind of odd. And also adding on top of that King Saul was from the tribe of Benjamin. And we knew from a while ago from Jacob's blessings of his children that Judah would be, his descendants would be the royal line, right? So, I mean, I guess these are the questions you can only ask God when we enter heaven, right?
Then all Israel came together to David at Hebron, saying,
Indeed, we are your bone and your flesh.
Also in time past, even when Saul was king, you were the one who led Israel out and brought them in. And the Lord your God said to you, You shall shepherd my people Israel and be ruler over my people Israel.
Therefore all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel, according to the word of the Lord by Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the land. But the inhabitants of Jebus said to David,
You shall not come in here.
Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David. Now David said,
Whoever attacks the Jebusites first shall be chief and captain.
And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went up first and became chief. Then David dwelt in the stronghold. Therefore they called it the city of David. And he built the city around it, from Millo to the surrounding area. Joab repaired the rest of the city. So David went on and became great, and the Lord of hosts was with him. Now these were the heads of the mighty men whom David had, who strengthened themselves with him in his kingdom, with all Israel, to make him king, according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel.
Right, because I think we read this, or David had about 30 men, I think maybe a little over 30 men, like it was around 30.
And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had. Jashobeam, the son of a Hachmonite, chief of the captains. He had lifted up his spear against 300, killed by him at one time. After him was Eleazar,
The Bible version of the
son of
501st.
Doda, the Ahohite, who was one of the 3 mighty men. He was with David at Pasdammim. Now there the Philistines were gathered for battle, and there was a piece of ground full of barley. So the people fled from the Philistines, but they stationed themselves in the middle of that field, defended it, and killed the Philistines. So the Lord brought about a great victory. Now 3 of the 30 chief men went down to the rock to
30.
David, into the cave of Adullam, and the army of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David said with longing,
Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate.
So the 3 broke through the camp of the Philistines, drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, David would not drink it, but poured it out to the Lord.
Far be it from me, O my God, that I should do this. Shall I drink the blood of these men who have put their lives in jeopardy? For at the risk of their lives they brought it.
Therefore he would not drink it.
But then also, I mean, I get his reasoning also, but wouldn't you also drink it because they risked their lives for it instead of wasting it, or be appreciative of it? Instead of not drinking it because you disagreed with how they got it, you didn't like that they risked their lives for it. Like, how could you drink it, That means you're approving that behavior. I mean, I just don't like that it went to waste. At least give it back. Here, I can't drink it. Here, you guys can share it.
These things were done by the 3 mighty men. Abishai, the brother of Joab, was chief of another 3. He had lifted up his spear against 300 men, killed them, and won a name among these 3. Of the 3, he was more honored than the other 2 men. Therefore he became their captain. However, he did not attain to the first 3. Benaiah was the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man from Kabzeel, who had done many deeds. He had killed 2 lion-like heroes of Moab. He had also gone down and killed a lion in the midst of a pit on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a man of great height, 5 cubits tall. In the Egyptian's hand there was a spear.
5 cubits tall. How tall is 5 cubits? Seven 0.4.
Like a weaver's beam, and he went down to him with a staff, wrested the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaiah the son of Jehoiada did, and won a name among 3 mighty men. Indeed, he was more honored than the 30, but he did not attain to the first 3. And David appointed him over his guard. Also the mighty warriors were Asahel, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, the son of Doda of Bethlehem, Shamath, the Hararite, Helez, the Pelonite, Ira, the son of Ikesh, the Tekoite, Abiezer, the Anathothite, Sibbecai, the Hushathite, Eli, the Ahohite, Meharai, the Netophathite, Heled, the son of Baana, the Netophathite, Ithai, the son of Ribai of Gibeah of the sons of Benjamin, Benaiah, the Pirathonite, Hurai of the brooks of Gaash, Abiel, the Arbathite, Asmaveth, the Baharamite, Eliahba, the Shaalbonite, the sons of Hashem, the Gizonite, Jonathan, the son of Shagar, the Hararite, Ahiam, the son of Sakor, the Hararite, Eliphal, the son of Hepher, the Macherathite, Ahijah, the Pelonite, Hezro, the Carmelite, Nearai, the son of Ezbai, Joel, the brother of Nathan, Mibhar, the son of Hagri, Zelek, the Ammonite, Nearai, the Beerathite, the armor-bearer of Joab, the son of Zerahiah, Ira, the Ithrite, Gareb, the Ithrite, Uriah, the Hittite, Zabad, the son of Arli, Adonai, the son of Shiza, the Reubenite, a chief of the Reubenites, and 30 with him, Hanan, the son of Maacah, Joshaphat, the Mithnite, Uzziah, the Ashterathite, Shema, and Jeiel, the sons of Hotham, the Aroerite, Jediael, the son of Shimri, and Joha his brother, the Tizite, Eliel, the Mahavite, Jerubbeel and Joshaviah, the sons of Elnaam, Ithma, the Moabite, Eliel, Obed, and Jaasiel, the Mezobaite.
All right, let me just read this bit real quick. But let me just jump in 12. Okay. So what we just read, right? The 30, right? The 30 men. Their names appear in what we just read, 26 to 47, and also in 2 Samuel 23, 24 to 39, right? We covered what I'm about to read and when we were reading that, but just as a refresher, the term 30 may the term 30 may denote an elite military unit that consisted of approximately 30 men. The term does not indicate a literal number because the list that we just read includes more than 30 names. So about 30 or so. I mean, we can go and count, I guess, but we'll just keep on going. If you guys want to go back and count, feel free to go back and count.
Now these were the men who came to David at Ziklag.
And you can let me
while
know
he was
the
still
number
a
down in
fugitive
the
from
comment
Saul,
section.
the son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men, helpers in the war, armed with bows, using both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows with the bow. They were of Benjamin, Saul's brethren.
Some
The
ambidextrous
chief
guys.
was Ahiezer, then Joash, the son of Shemaiah, the Gibeathite, Jeziel and Pelet, the sons of Asmaveth, Berekah and Jehu, the Anathothite, Ishmaiah, the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30 and over the 30, Jeremiah, Jehaziel, Johanan, and
What do you mean, and
Jozabad,
over the 30? Was he better than the 30?
Eleuzai, Jeremath,
Or he
Bealiah,
was like the leader of the 30?
Shemariah, and Shephatiah the Haruphite, Elkanah, Jeshiah, Azarel, Joezah, and Jeshobeam, the Korahites, and Joelah and Zebediah, the sons of Jeroam of Gedor. Some Gadites joined David at the stronghold in the wilderness, mighty men of valor, men trained for battle, who could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as gazelles on the mountains. Ezer the first, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third,
these
Mishmanah
guys
the
are no
fourth,
joke.
Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, and Machbanai the 11th. These were from the sons of Gad, captains of the army. The least was over 100, and the greatest was over 1,000. These are the ones who crossed the Jordan in the first month, when it had overflowed all its banks, and they put to flight all those in the valleys, to the east and to the west. Then some of the sons of Benjamin and Judah came to David at the stronghold, and David went out to meet them.
If you have come peaceably to me to help me, my heart will be united with you. But if to betray me to my enemies, since there is no wrong in my hands, may the God of our fathers look and bring judgment.
Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, chief of the captains.
We are yours, O David. We are on your side, O son of Jesse. Peace, peace to you, and peace to your helpers, for your God helps you.
So David received them and made them captains of the troop. And some from Manasseh defected to David when he was going with the Philistines to battle against Saul. But they did not help them, for the lords of the Philistines sent him away by agreement, saying,
He may defect to his master Saul and endanger our heads.
When he went to Ziklag, those of Manasseh who defected to him were Adnah, Jozabad, Jediael, Michael, Jozabad, Elihu, and Zilethai, captains of the thousands who were from Manasseh. And they helped David against the bands of raiders, for they were all mighty men of valor, and they were captains in the army. For at that time they came to David day by day to help him, until it was a great army, like the army of God. Now these were the numbers of the divisions that were equipped for war, and came to David at Hebron, to turn over the kingdom of Saul to him, according to the word of the Lord. Of the sons of Judah, bearing shield and spear, 6,800 armed for war. Of the sons of Simeon, mighty men of valor, fit for war, 7,100. Of the sons of Levi, 4,600. Jehoiada, the leader of the Aaronites, and with him 3,700. Zadok, a young man, a valiant warrior, and from his father's house 22 captains. Of the sons of Benjamin, relatives of
He
Saul,
built up an army, didn't he?
3,000. Until then, the greatest part of them had remained loyal to the house of Saul. Of the sons of Ephraim, 20,800, mighty men of valor, famous men throughout their father's house. Of the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, who were designated by name to come and make David king. Of the sons of Issachar, who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. Their chiefs were 200, and all their brethren were at their command. Of Zebulun there were 50,000 who went out to battle, expert in war with all weapons of war, stout-hearted men who could keep ranks. Of Naphtali, 1,000 captains, and with them 37,000 with shield and spear. Of the Danites, who could keep battle formation, 28,600. Of Asher, those who could go out to war, able to keep battle formation, 40,000. Of the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh from the other side of the Jordan, 120,000 armed for battle, with every kind of weapon of war. All these men of war, who could keep ranks, came to Hebron with a loyal heart to make David king over all Israel. And all the rest of Israel.
Imagine a movement
were
like
of
that back then. All these people from all these surrounding areas coming together to make one guy their king, to overthrow the current king and make this young guy the king of all Israel. Like imagine the atmosphere. Like it must have been on fire. Like everybody, like and these guys are like well-trained fighters. You have David's elite with him. Man, it must have been an exciting time, dangerous time.
one mind to make David king.
Man, Saul
They were
must have
there
been
with David
freaking out.
3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had prepared for them. Moreover, those who were near to them, from as far away as Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, were bringing food on donkeys and camels, on mules and oxen, provisions of flour, and cakes of figs, and cakes of raisins, wine and oil, and oxen and sheep abundantly, for there was joy in Israel.
All right.
In Israel.
Well, that is it for chapter 12. Tomorrow we're going to jump into chapter 13. Man, David had some army with him, huh? I'm still not over that 30, the elite 30. That's like the best of the best fighters with him. Tomorrow we're going to be jumping into chapter 13. The ark brought from Kirjath Jearim. And so it looks like we're still doing the recaps. 14, David established at Jerusalem, right? So he made Jerusalem his place of residence. And then the ark is finally brought to Jerusalem and placed into the tabernacle. So we're going to get more insight on that. Like, see, today we got more insight into his army. So we're going to get more insight in that whole process of transporting the ark and putting it into the tabernacle in Jerusalem. So we'll get more insight into that. That'll be interesting. So hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. Check back tomorrow for that. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.